everybody is doing okay, or at least as okay as you can be. I've been drinking for like since Friday. It's like Sunday now. Wasn't intending to, but you know how it is. This shit tastes so fucking wrong. I was drinking Elephant before. It was like a strong beer. Anyway, yeah, I had a bit of a meltdown yesterday, I guess you could say. Although when I say meltdown, it sounds like something an autistic person has. I don't have autism that I'm aware of. I had a mental breakdown. I have a few of those every now and then. It's usually when I'm in public or when I drink. Sometimes it just gets too hard to just hold on to things, like, bottle it up, whatever, or ignore, like my issues. But anyway, I ended up making all these posts about, say, why I can't understand what it is I need to change about myself. Maybe it's because maybe it's just because now I'm old, like whenever you go to a bar, it's pretty much everybody who's like say under 25, like I don't know where people who are like their late 20s go, or 30s I suppose, like some people say, all these motherfuckers have families and shit by now, but there are a lot of lonely guys out there who never really get that, I don't believe that, because this isn't, say, this isn't the old days where like every guy would go off and get married and shit. Like half of marriages, I think these days, end in divorce anyway, so that kind of crap isn't exactly what everybody's going off and doing. I don't really understand why, because I know that like men never give up sort of their desire for wanting to get like relationships and stuff, so it's kind of strange that they no longer go out to bars, when they're older. Because if older guys could still get girls, they'd be trying, they definitely wouldn't be put off if they could actually do it. I think that's maybe the reason, because once they get old, they're like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's sort of like me, how I walk into EB Games and I just feel weird, because when I was like a teenager, I thought when I was 16, I first went to that shop and I thought it was so cool how it had like all these games and merchandise and stuff like that. And in my early 20s, I was really big into games. I had fucking massive shelf full of like double layer stacked video games and stuff. And, I kind of went off that slowly, and then when I got sick, I stopped doing it. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's sort of, it's like I sort of lost how I was because of getting sick and things, and I was like, I gave up on all of my hobbies because I thought they were pointless to have now, because, if I wasn't well, it just made me give up on collecting things and buying stuff. And because when you do that, you're investing for the future, you're planning to hold on to it and things like that, add to a collection progressively, sort of like making a garden or whatever, that after next week, you're still going to have it there, you're still going to have to add to it or maintain it or whatever. And then I just like sort of I gave up on that, and then I went back into the shop and I just feel weird. It's like I'm trying to be a kid again, looking at like video games and things like that. But anyway, I'm getting a bit off subject like I always do. So maybe that's just like, why guys aren't going out to bars and things when they're older, because they probably want to, but they just feel weird being amongst all the younger people and being the old guy there. But anyway, I've pissed around for 4 minutes and still haven't got to my point. Yeah, I made all this post because I was just frustrated, thinking, like, what is it about me? Is it just because I'm older? Is it because they can tell that I'm sick? Like, I don't know if you can really see, like, my skin's all blemished as fuck because I haven't been washing my face that much. But I've got, like, you can see, like, all around my mouth, I'm losing fat and it's getting worse. So normally this would look like way more, this is going to be way more plump and sort of full. But I've got this autoimmune disease, so I'm losing like fat padding in my body. And you can sort of see, like, when I talk, the muscles like more, and it's looking absolutely atrocious. So Eventually it's probably going to be like just the skin and then the muscle, and it's just going to be like, nightmare fuel. Like, like if people with this condition end up looking absolutely like unreal, like monstrous. So I want to try and have a fat transfer, but it's getting the right fucking hospital and funding and shit, because there's no way I can afford that like by itself, like if I don't have it funded, because it's just too expensive. But anyway, hell, I don't plan on being around for that long anyway. I don't know, but I'm not sure. I don't know where my life's going. I'm really freaked out. But anyway, so I think maybe it's that, because they can tell that I'm sick, because like my face is looking a bit different, you can sort of see. And maybe because I'm older, because it's kind of like, say you see photos of these guys who are like, say, 40 something years old, and they've got that model looking jawline, and they've still got that really good forehead with it like goes straight across, like they don't have like a round big oval shaped forehead. They've still got that good head of hair, the good jaw and facial structure, but it's just the fact that they're old. So it's kind of like that they still have that look, but they're no longer in the game anymore because they're too old, and I'm thinking maybe that's me, because I mean, like, I look a lot better than I did when I was in my early 20s, like overall, just because I had such a round, pudgy sort of childlike face for a long time. And being young looking is good, but at the same time, if you look real young but not masculine, it's not good either. But like overall, my face is looking less round and more sort of defined and square and shit. But I mean, I've lost facial fat, and I've also I've gotten old, so maybe it's this, people can tell I'm sick, or because I'm old, now, or maybe it's just because overall, because I don't look that great. Like, I mean, I think sometimes I look at myself and I think I look alright, and then I look at, like, say, walking downtown, and I see photos like this fucking poster of these these pictures of all these fucking Chad-like guys, and like the John Paul fucking fragrance people and shit like that, and I think, yeah, okay, it's like, say, being the guy on the road, you're driving your fucking BMW and you think, oh, this is a pretty nice car, but you're like surrounded by fucking Hondas and Suzukis and like all these bland looking kart Mazdas, or like this one coming up here now, it looks like a Toyota granny wagon. No, it's a Nissan something, like a Nissan March or some shit. And if you're around them, you think, oh yeah, I've got a fairly nice looking car, I sort of stand out. And then next minute the fucking Ferrari comes around, and it's like, oh yeah, I realize, because you may be like, even so, for like relationships and things, it's like you might be the best guy in the room, and you may mog, like, you may, all the other guys you might be better than, but that girl that you're talking to or interested in is gonna know fucking 100 guys outside the room, you know what I mean? Like, so you think you look okay, and then you see like who's really out there, and you just can't compare to that shit. So that's the thing, and they know that, they now have access to all that because of online. They can meet up with guys fucking that they'd never meet in real life. Like, they used to just know people in their social circles and things like that, which, they still always had like a lot of options, but now they can pretty much go for people all in their town, or they can get people on Instagram contacting them from fucking other cities, countries. It's even worse than fucking dating apps. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I've honestly been really fucked up, because I look at, like, say, when I made these posts and things, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, somebody just please fucking tell me, because I look at myself and I realize that I don't look anything like these guys that they use in, when you go to town and you look at like the clothing stores for men's, they've all got these like fucking chiseled Chad types, all of these like model looking guys. Like, I mean, I've probably seen like 2 or 3 guys who look like that in real life, like in my whole life, probably, maybe a few more, but that doesn't represent a normal man. But the thing is that you see that shit and it just makes you fucking feel like crap, And I realize that because they're the only types of guys who get matches online, like 2 to 5% of guys are getting like all the matches, all of the attention online. Like, I mean, and literally the shit thing is that these guys aren't just getting the best results. It's the fact that only these guys are getting results, which is kind of fucked up. Like, females have this fucked up mentality where it's like, it's kind of like, say, they know that there's a Ferrari or a Lamborghini out there, so they refuse to drive anything until they get that. It doesn't matter that that car is way out of their price range. It doesn't matter that even if they get that car, they're not going to be able to hold on to it because they can't afford to maintain it. The fact that so many other people are after it, so its price is like way up, and the damn thing is unreliable, will catch on fire and will just destroy itself anyway. Like, unreliable as fuck, expensive to maintain. But, you know, because they see, oh, this one looks the shiniest, I want that one, I don't want anything else. That's the equivalent of somebody refusing to even drive, walking everywhere because they can't have the best car on the road. And that's a female mentality these days. You know, and that's the problem, is that like 2 to 5% of fucking guys are getting, like, online, are getting everything. So it really crushes your self-esteem, eh? But, so I'm thinking, because I don't look like one of these fucking guys, nothing I will do or can improve on will be good enough. You know, because like I had this like talk, I think, with somebody online. They said something like to me like, oh, well, you know, if you can't be a, you know, saying that if you can't be like a 7 or an 8 or whatever, then it doesn't matter whether you are a 2 or a 5 or a 6 or whatever, you know, like, and saying, well, you know, that's stupid. But the thing is that, like, literally, if only 5% of people are getting fucking matches and shit, it won't matter if you're a 2 or whether you're a 6 or a 7, because if you're not in that very top, then you're nothing. You're like, the thing is that females rate guys in binary and men rate in a 1 to 10 scale sort of thing. So a girl will either rate a guy or a yes or a no, a 1 or a 0. He's either everything or he's nothing. And a guy will rate a girl as like a 1 to 10, which is more sort of realistic, I suppose. Even though I don't like rating people on that because I think there's too many variables. That sort of is the general sort of way of how people do it. But I mean, that's the thing, is that like I feel like I just can't improve enough. Like, even like for my age, I mean, like, I know like plenty of guys like by now who are like 30 who look like absolute freaking ass. Like, they are like well done by now. Like, you know, their face looks like fucking like a potato, like real just fat, you know, half their hair's gone. You know, they just look really older, really bad. And so yeah, you know, like, the only thing is to have youth, eh? And I feel like my only chance would have been to looks max when I was like 21, 22 maybe, and had a bunch of surgeries, got my hair done, fucking bunch of facial implants and things like that. But I think that even then it wouldn't have really helped, because I just had that sort of young, awkward looking face, you know, that a lot of people have at that age, or when they're younger. So it's just an unfortunate sort of thing. But it's like, you know, when you're older, you're too old. Even if you get that done, it's sort of like, well, it's kind of a bit inappropriate to seek relationships, you know, now. Like, I think that most guys at this age, if they want to have a relationship, they would have had to have already gotten into one when they were younger. You know, either that or you pick up someone else's leftovers. So you're getting somebody who's, you know, on the arse end of their youth, who's got like a bunch of kids and a whole lot of emotional baggage, who will compare you to the ex that they've never been able to keep, or, you know, you're constantly living in some other dude's shadow, you know. Fuck that, you know. But anyway, the thing that really pisses me off is nobody's ever told me exactly where I've stood properly. You know, I've been insulted by plenty of people, as most of you would have yourselves. It just comes with being a man, you know. Everybody has gone through this shit, you know, whether they look good or bad, they've been insulted by people. But the thing is that, like, basically, I've never been able to understand exactly where I'm at. Like, so I understand you're pretty much either a yes or a no. And sometimes for a lot of us, we can't hope to get in the top 5-10%. It's just not reality. We can improve ourselves. We can make ourselves look better for style, car, vehicle, whatever, money. Have a better, like, the haircut that suits your face better. Because even if you're ugly, still having a fucking worse haircut is still going to make you look a lot worse than having the best one you can have. clothes that fit, you know, going to gym, losing weight, being in the best shape you can, you can make yourself look a lot better. Even if you don't reach that goal of looking attractive, you can still be a lot better of a version of yourself, so you'll still look a lot better. And I think everybody should try to be their best, even if you can't be like good enough, you can still make your character properly. Like, you can still be somebody rather than this awkward fucking person who has no interests and no style. You need to sort of find yourself for who you are and the style that best suits you. Do the most you can with what you've got, you know. I believe in that. It's definitely something you should try and do, and look at, you know, finding out exactly what suits you, because there are certain things that do and some that don't. It took me a long time to have any self-awareness, you know. When I was 25, I had this fucking double chin, like the damn thing hung down to like here, and I had bloating in my face like more than now. I had like fucking ratty hair, like I didn't even have any self-awareness of any of that shit, you know, like, and I've slowly been able to do that, and it's taken me a long fucking time. But that's the thing, is that, you know, you have to find out exactly what suits you and what works best to you, what you can improve on. You know, say like I used to have like thinner lips, like really quite thinner. I had like filler done on my fucking lips. I'm like really happy with it, you know, because now I actually look like I have it. Like I used to say, like, I didn't have like a top lip properly. It was like asymmetrical. You know, I mean, some of it could have been losing this fat from this disease, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it looks better now than it did before. You know, and there's certain things, like some people have like really horrible facial hair and things. You can do what you want, but, you know, sometimes, you know, the thing is that we want to, overall we want to be good enough, but some of us probably can't. The thing that's always fucking got to me was never knowing how far exactly I was from being good enough, you know, because like I said, you know, you can be a yes or a no, but I would still rather know if I'm like a fucking 1 or a 2, or if I'm like somewhere close to average, you know, because my whole life, when I was younger, I didn't really know what Chad was. I never really knew what a male model was. Like, I never thought about cheekbones or jawline or any of that shit being an essential thing for attraction, you know. I didn't really have any idea about shit like that. I just thought, you know, you can tell if someone looks bad, but, you know, somebody looking really good, you know, I didn't really study that sort of thing until I found like lookism and all that shit. But the thing is that, like, I mean, I never wanted to be like that hot guy. I never thought that I could be like that, you know, and I never really knew too much about what that was until more recent years. But like, I always just wanted to be normal, to be honest. I just wanted to be normal. Ever since I was like 5 years old, I was a skinny little bastard. My wrists hadn't really grown since I was 5 years old, and even back then I knew that I was smaller than other people. So like, they're pretty small now. I don't know if you can sort of tell. I wear like sports wristbands like on my arms. Like when I used to go to gym and everything, I would always wear like these cotton sports wristbands always to cover my wrists, because nobody looks at your wrist size when you're wearing those, really. It was a self-conscious thing. I was always quite small. I'm not really short exactly. Like, I wouldn't classify it as like properly short. So I'm not really short, but I'm just, when I walk down the street, I'm practically taller than all of the ethnic people. Like, I mean, the majority of, like, I'd say people in my city, in the central area of town, there's like a lot of Indians, a lot of Asians, and I'm taller than a lot of these guys. But the thing is that doesn't mean anything to me, because I'm not one of them. Like, compared to whites, it's whites that I need to be taller than, because, you know, it's like if all the white girls want a really tall guy, then obviously I'm going to have to be taller than all the white guys. But anyway, height isn't really so big of a thing, I don't think. Like, I mean, sure, if you list your height as being like 6'3" or something on dating apps, it's probably going to benefit you a lot, you know. But, you know, I don't know. I see like so many guys out in public who are short, like actually like way, like I'd say even a head shorter than me, and, you know, they've got somebody. But like, I've just always wanted to know where exactly I've stood, because I see so many like normal fucking average guys with partners. I see so many, like, what I'd consider to be ugly guys with partners. But that's the thing, is that maybe, like, I'm the ugliest fucking guy around. Maybe like, all of those neckbeards, the guys who I'd call neckbeards, who have, like, all this bulging fucking giant bowl of fat underneath their chin. They've got, like, this patchy-ass fucking beard, clothes that are, like, hanging off them, or they don't even fit properly, no style. You know, they don't buy a nice fucking jacket or a nice dress shirt or fucking branded clothing or even something that, like, sort of suits or fits them. You know, they just have, like, these, like, really basic ass fucking cheap clothing that doesn't even fit them properly, don't really take care of themselves, some of them, you know. And I don't know how it happens, but I'm thinking, if these guys can fucking do it and I can't, then obviously I'm uglier than all of these guys, you know. I don't know how, I can't understand why, but when I see, like, some fucking fat guy, he's got, like, a gut, you know, that actually protrudes, like, this far out from his belt line, and I'm like, and this guy's got, like, a fucking partner. I'm thinking, I get it, I'm not attractive, otherwise I would be looked at. I would be able to get matches online. But I'm thinking, if this guy can fucking do it, then what the hell am I missing? But then I stop and then I think, and I come to the conclusion, well, if this guy can fucking do it, then obviously I'm uglier than him. I'm uglier than a fat guy who has no fucking style. And I must even look worse than those pussy ass fucking guys who drive around in granny cars like Suzuki Swifts and Nissan March and what the hell's that ugly thing that looks like a fucking toad that's been dropped in nuclear waste, the Nissan Leaf. Sometimes these girls are even driving them. It's pathetic, you know. Like, I don't understand that shit. Like, how is it that I, like, dress fucking nice, I at least have somewhat of a jawline, but no, I mean, like, I don't know, I don't have the nicest car around, but it's fairly okay. Like, I mean, it's presentable. But I suppose if you're an unattractive guy who drives like a fucking, you know, convertible around, you're probably it's sort of like it will negatively impact you, because it's like, if you're good looking, anything cool like that you're into, like guitar or leather jacket or fucking smoking or drinking or fucking music and convertibles or motorcycles or anything like that, is going to make you look like cool or a rebel or that, you know, it's going to be style. But anything that you do as a fucking ugly guy that stands out from the normal is considered to be like a negative, you know. So it's like, if you dress a bit different, you're stepping outside the normal and you're weird, you're different for it, you know. So that's the fucking thing, eh? It's like, if you're not the best looking, you sort of almost have to stay within society's normality of clothing and music and everything. But fuck it, you know, I don't give a shit, you know. I don't care about my reputation anymore. That's why I fucking settle that bloody stuff online about, like, you know, asking, like, what the fuck is wrong with me, you know. I have had so many people on my friends list or family or whatever unfriend me or disassociate with me or whatever, because I'm always saying all this fucking cell related shit on my page. I get banned all the time. I've had cops come looking for me. I've apparently had fucking all this other shit. But I don't care how badly I don't really care how much I alienate myself or how badly I tear down my reputation or any of that crap, because, like, people say that, you know, that guys like us, sold it fucking guys, won't say any of this shit in real life. Mate, if anybody calls out, has a like fucking thing where they talk about men in a bad way and about, you know, like all of this shit, I will fucking insult them in front of anybody. Because this shit needs to be told. You know, I'm sick of people trying to make out that it's bullshit. because there are a fuck ton of guys who are out there suffering from this shit. And when they go to complain about it, nobody bloody listens to them. You just get run down about it, you know. But anyway, I'm 26 minutes in, I still haven't got to my point. Basically, yeah, I just wish I knew where I fucking stood, eh? I just don't understand, because all those fat cunts out there who can't dress themselves and, you know, sloppy motherfuckers and whatever else. I'm thinking, obviously, I must look so much worse than them. I just wish I knew how bad, you know? Nobody has the fucking guts to just say to me, I've been fucking called ugly by tons of fucking bitches online. I've been called fucking incel by heaps of fucking bitches and guys online. Most of them look a fuckload worse. I mean, I had some post where I nutted out at some guy and he screen captured my thing and posted it on some Facebook fucking video or Facebook page. It was something like schizophrenic something, and everybody in the comments was just tearing down my appearance, you know, like giving me fucking shit about the way I look, ha ha ha, fucking, you know, like making fun of me and shit, like saying, oh, fucking Peaky Blinders, all this fucking crap, you know, like, none of that shit was about my situation, eh? It's always, they always just make fun of the way you look, you know. And the funny thing was, half these guys legitimately looked like fucking, like, I don't like the whole mother's basement type fucking stereotype, but these dudes look like the kind of guys who are sitting in a pile of Coke bottles and fucking biscuit wrappers and like bags of chips and stuff with a greasy ass keyboard that sit in there looking at hentai all day, you know, like those kind of guys, neckbeards and stuff, like legitimate, like, I didn't think that these people really existed much in real life, but these were all of the people who are giving me shit on this page. It was quite funny, you know, like, in a way, if not depressing. But just the way that people like try and run you down for your appearance, you know, it's fucked up. It's like when I was making these posts and shit, I was asking exactly what the hell it is that's wrong with me. You know, I had one girl, it was like one girl that I added on my Facebook page, and she said something like, oh, well, your attitude isn't helping. That's the funniest way of calling somebody ugly that I've fucking heard. You know, it's like saying, if I was good looking, you wouldn't talk like that. You would just say, hey, you know, you're not bad looking, it's just, there's something else or something, you know, but they don't. They never fucking say that. You know, it's always just giving you shit. And I mean, like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand what the hell it is that's so bad about me. I mean, I'm guessing maybe it's just bad facial harmony. You know, like maybe it's because my face kind of looks like a pile of skin that's been stomped on and then draped around a skull and then stapled to it at the back. So it's kind of like it's all there, but it just looks like mush. You know, maybe it's because like my eyes are just like asymmetrical and I just look like shit. I don't know. I mean, like there's enough times, like, you know, like say calling somebody ugly is one thing, but I just want to know exactly what it is, you know, about me that could be changed. You know, I used to ask on this fucking site Reddit all the time. I hate Reddit. I don't know what it is about Reddit, but it's like it has this certain type of people that are almost like they're all like clones of each other. They all share the same opinion. It's almost like they're all just a collective hive mind. Anyway, they never give you advice. They just fucking piss on about personality and fucking all this other crap. You know, that's all they do, is just go on about fucking personality. Oh, it's a personality, it's never your looks. Fucking joke. You know, and I gave up because I was just so exasperated about never getting a fucking answer from these people. You know, they would never actually just tell you, hey, it's because your jawline sucks, or you've got a fucking bad eye area. You know, I don't know, but it was just, what do you do? So I gave up on that. I used to ask so many fucking times, and then I would get so exasperated with these fucking people because they just end up telling me, oh, you're going to be a virgin forever. And I'm like, I'm not actually one. I mean, I did lose it when I was 15 or 16 or some shit to this fucking horrible fat bitch called Crystal. But like, that I wasn't even interested in. I was just fucking lonely. But anyway, like, Yeah, so I don't know, I never got an answer. And then so I went on Tinder, and obviously, I mean, after swiping your fucking whole country over and over for years, and then people from other countries, you realise, yeah, okay, I realise I'm not good enough, but that never gave me the answer exactly from how bad I am. You know, like, am I like what, a 1, a 2, a 3, or am I like close to average? Am I, because sometimes I think I can sort of look better than others, and then sometimes I look absolutely like atrocious, and then other times I look okay. So I don't know, but I don't get it. Like, that's the thing, it's like being left in the dark about not knowing exactly how bad you are. You know, that's the hard part. How do you know what you could have improved on if no one even fucking tells you? You know, I tried websites like Lookers and Looksmax and stuff, but half the time that's just a bunch of young idiots on there, probably just teenagers, you know. Most of them I think are fucking teenagers, and you know, those guys don't really know how to rate people, you know. It's like, unless you look like, it was that guy Sean O'Pride or something, you're not even, or that other guy they're always wetting themselves over, but you know, you're not really going to get a good answer, because a lot of these guys are rating male models as like 5s and shit, you know. So yeah, you know, men rating men is pretty inaccurate anyway, because it's like, it's the female who has the opinion. You know, we can only speculate exactly what they like, you know, to a degree. I mean, we can all agree they all want the same model like guys, but when it comes to average guys and whatever, you know, I suppose we know they rate most guys as like 4s or 2s even. You see them in the street interviews where they're like, oh, what do you rate this guy as? And they're all like saying, oh, he's a 1 or a 2. So it sort of makes sense of that, why they think everybody's under 80% of men is like being below average, because they literally think that you're either hot or you're nothing. But I just don't get it. Like, I've been like beating myself up for fucking years trying to figure out what exactly is fucking wrong with me. You know, because the thing that frustrates me so much is when I go out to public, like, I don't know about you guys who get pissed off at this sort of thing, but it isn't Chad that pisses me off when I'm in public so much. You know, some fucking guy is like 6'2" and he's like classically handsome and stuff, and he's got a partner. I'm like, I can understand it. It makes sense to me. I'm not gonna, you know, like, how can I argue with that? Because, you know, it's like, it makes sense, you know. I mean, it's kind of like, well, that's the better guy. I wouldn't blame a girl for fucking going with someone like that over me. You know, that makes sense. I look at the guy and I think, you fucking idiot, though, because I think, you know that girl wouldn't even speak to you if you didn't look like that, you know. Those guys just fucking think that they're the man, but they're just the boy who's put in a man's body, you know. They just lucked out on their body that they were given, practically, you know. You know, like, how does it feel being with a girl who wouldn't even fucking look at you if you were born a little bit uglier? Fucking joke, really. But it makes sense to me. But the thing that really bothers me is when I see some out of shape fucking neckbeard looking guy with some 5'6" guy with some girl who's like 5'8", and no hate on short guys, I'm just saying it, like, from my perspective, I don't understand it. And I see some guy who's like head fucking shorter than me or some shit, or like about that much shorter. You know, he's dressed worse than me. He doesn't have any kind of good facial structure, you know, with somebody, and I can't, you know, it's like, I can't understand. I just can't wrap my mind around why the hell this is like this. I see so many lesser men, and I think some of these guys are like absolute fucking bitches, you know, like, and I'm like, why do you get that? Why do you get that and I get nothing? You know, like, I saw this fucking one guy, it's like this little fucking pretty boy, like fucking twig, small bloody guy walking along with this girl with these like thick fucking legs. She looks like it has this fucking proper like woman's body, and he just looks like a boy. I'm like, you know, like, why do you deserve that? Why the fuck can't I get that shit, you know? Fucking hell, I spent my life fucking wandering around the fucking streets getting pissed. Fucking hell, man. Riding a fucking Harley while this cunt's riding a fucking push bike. You know, like, what the hell, man? I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, people like that. Some of these fucking guys. You know, I'm no man. I mean, I don't look like what a man should at my age. You know, like, I mean, I'm far from it. I'm sort of halfway between boy and man, really. I mean, I don't have that masculine kind of look. But compared to some of these guys, it's an embarrassment. You know, I mean, and these cunts can fucking get it. These guys, you know, like, I can't believe this shit, man. 10 plus fucking years of trying. I fucking can't bloody get it, you know, still. I just want to experience this shit one fucking time before I'm dead. You know? Just don't understand this crap, man. Just don't fucking get it. And nobody to this day still tells me what the hell. Like, I just wish I could find out, like, where do I ask? Because I can't ask a girl, hey, you know, like, how far away am I from looking good enough to get a partner? Or am I just too old? You know, how do I say, how ugly am I? You know, they're not going to tell you because they won't tell me, and that they're afraid that men are going to fucking psych out on them. They think men are going to freaking be like brutal and violent and abusive, or at the very least, they just don't want to hurt their feelings, mate. My feelings are already hurt. I've always said, I'd rather know the brutal, straight to the fucking point, honest truth than be lied to. You know, I don't need those sugarcoating. Because sugarcoating is not the reality. It doesn't represent the truth. I want to know exactly where I stand. And that's a fucked up thing, is that I'll never know properly, you know? Never know exactly how close I would have been. But, you know, how fucking depressing it is when you're just going around town, like, you try online for years, you try online so many fucking times, and you realize, okay, you know, it doesn't matter how much better my photos are than the last time, or how much I've gotten to improve physically than the last time, because unless you're in the top 10%, you're getting nothing. You're not going to be like, hey, well, I don't mind getting an average girl, you know, as long as she's kind of thick. I don't mind getting a girl who's like a 6 or even a 5 or whatever. But in reality, it's kind of like, it doesn't matter if you only want an average person, because you're either getting somebody who's fucking 300 pounds and looks like a bag of chewed bubblegum, you're getting a tranny, or you're getting nothing. And that's the only people you'll match with if you're not a fucking 8 or 9 out of 10. You know, that's basically it. So you realize that you can't do shit online. You know, no matter how much you fraud your photos, you're just not going to reach that top 5%, because it's just unrealistic. You know, it's sort of like, it's just one of those things. So you stop going online, and you'd be like, well, if I can't fucking meet anyone online, and they've got way too many options anyway, so even if you're like a 7 or an 8, you're probably going to be like one of 10 guys in their fucking inbox for your average girl who's you know, swamped with offers like all the time. So online, you're just a name in a hat, a giant fucking hat, you know, like trying to get lotto numbers. So it's not going to happen. So you go to the fucking source in real life. You go to where people are. You go to fucking malls, town, streets, fucking events, bars, pubs, fucking go out to nightlife and shit, and people are like, oh, well, you know, find people that suit you. So you go out to the fucking bars that have like the kind of music that you actually like the fucking metal and things like that, and then it's no different. I mean, I put myself out there every fucking week. I go out to bars every fucking week, and you know, almost I did for the first 6 months of moving to the big city, and I still do every now and then, just for old time's sake, because old habits die hard. And I felt like even if I lived till 80 years old, I would still be going out to the bars every couple of weeks, because I think, well, I can't give up on this. You just can't say no to your biological fucking needs, you know, because it's what we're programmed to want as a guy. Like, It's part of who you are. It's like your goal in life is to fucking do that shit. Everything we do in real life is revolves around that. So, you know, that's the thing. You can't give it up. Even if you know that there's no chance of winning, you are wired to do this, so you can't stop. So you just keep trying and trying and trying for years. I mean, years and years I would fucking put myself out there. You know, I go to these things every fucking couple of weeks or whatever. Because it's all you can do. All you can do is put yourself around people and think, sooner or later I'm hoping that this shit will fucking happen. Because it's all you can do, you know. And every single time I would go out, I would feel worse than when I did. I would stop at the bridge on the way home. I would try and contemplate jumping off the fucking thing. And then I would give up. Fuck. And then I would give up, and then I would go home drunk, almost. And then I would get into bed and barely watch something online, my freaking phone hurting my eyes, and then I would go to sleep, and then I'd feel like shit the next day, and rinse and repeat, you know, and it would never fucking happen, because like all these bitches know that, you know, that the tall fucking handsome guy is somewhere in that fucking bar or the next one or whatever, and they'll never settle for you, you know, they'll never fucking give you the time of day. You know, it's like, I mean, doing that for so many years, and literally I never even had one girl even look at me. Never even had like a conversation, like up until a month ago. So I'd done this for like a year and a half in this new city. Pretty much like fucking long ass times, ridiculous amount of time to not know one new person. And I had this random girl, I was looking at this table full of people, and then this fucking girl like just starts talking to me and says like, oh, you know, come over, join the fucking table sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be awkward. I don't know you people, so I don't know, I'm not going to have anything to say. But I ended up sitting down there, and this girl was just like overly friendly to me, and just like talking like pretty much a lot of the night, you know, like talking about like a lot of stuff, and really actually having a good connection. And she seemed genuinely interested in talking to me, which is quite strange. It was really fucking weird. But I don't know, she offered me a number or something like that, and then I checked, it wasn't on my phone, and like before I went to leave at the end of the night, I got the number off her. And I never bothered to message it, because I thought, well, you know, it's sort of, I don't really have anything to offer someone like that. And, you know, I talk to a bunch of guys in there and stuff anyway. I'm like, well, I obviously have options, and I'm not going to be the best one, so what's the point? But, you know, just out of it, out of fucking boredom and shit, I fucking messaged her like a couple of weeks or so later. And, you know, just asked her, how's it going, whatever, you know, and you never got a reply back. And then I sent one the other day, because I was going to the same bar again, because we had a thing on, and then never even got a response. So, yeah, maybe she was just bored that night, I don't know. But that's the first time ever that a girl's ever talked to me in a bar, or even looked at me like legitimately. Like, it's so amazing to be in a place for 4 or 5 hours and never even crossing eyes with somebody. You know, it's nuts. But like, yeah, it's just, you put yourself out there and you try, but it's never going to happen, you know. All because I just don't have the right face for it. I just don't understand how I see some fucking guys in there who look worse than me, you know. It's like in the street, you know, there's so many guys and I just look so much worse. And maybe that's just me just being delusional, and I think that I'm better, you know. Maybe I'm just like the ugliest motherfucker around, and I've got like no self-awareness, and these fat guys and guys that look like complete total betas are actually better looking than me. Because if I'm actually better looking than some of these guys, then those girls would have like taken interest in me. They would have come up to me, or they would have talked to me, you know, like in the bars and stuff. And if these girls are there with these ugly motherfuckers, you know, and if I really did look better than their guys, they would come up to me. They would ditch those guys and go with me or something, you know. But they never talk to me. So obviously, I don't know what it is about me, but I must look like the ugliest motherfucker around, because this shit just doesn't make any fucking sense, you know. Because whenever I complain about this online or whatever, you know, nobody, if I did actually look decent, people would give me reassurance that I'm just deluded. But every time I complain about this, everybody just shuts up and nobody says anything. You know, I just get so angry. Like, why do we have police and fucking laws and shit, you know? Like, if this was the old days and you see some unworthy man walking around with someone, you would just like fucking challenge that cunt to a duel or something, you know? Like, it's just crap, you know? But instead we're in this position where this fucking crap happens, and then a lot of us spend our fucking lives alone. And fuck this, man. I want to go to like one of those like desert countries and just buy a partner, you know? It's just ridiculous. It's also pathetic though, having to fucking move to another country just to, you know, because you can't get somebody in your own country. I just don't understand. Fuck, I was at this fucking workplace thing, and then I see like there's this fucking like ethnics and shit with fucking white partners, and these guys are just like, they're not even like Chad type Tyrone fucking, you know, they're not like some black tall model or some guy with a suit on and shit, you know, he's refined. They're just like, one of them was like just crude, big but just crude and shit, you know, and the other is just like skinny and like, you know, I'm like, how the fuck does this happen? How the fuck does this happen? I'm white and I can't even get with somebody who's my own fucking race, man. Fuck this. This is just bullshit, you know. I don't understand, man. I don't fucking understand. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I had to vent to somebody or something, you know. I fucking care how fucking crazy this shit makes me look. It's like, you know, it's like starving for fucking years and not dying. You know, like, when I was 24, 23, I thought, fuck, one day this is going to happen. By 24, yep, I'm going to have some experience. And I thought, okay, that time came and went. And in 25, I thought, fuck, eventually I'm going to have some experience. By the time I'm 25, surely I would have been with some of those, you know, those office type fucking bitches who wear like the thigh high stockings and crap, and fucking, you know, the bimbos and crap. And I was like, okay, 25 came and went, and I thought, okay, by 28 I'm going to be a man. I'm going to be a man. I would have had some fucking relationships. I'm going to actually know what it's like to be with a bitch, like a proper one, like one that I'm physically attracted to. 28 came and went, fucking nothing. And then I thought, you know, God's not going to let me down on this. Life is going to throw me a fucking bone here. You know, surely my life is meant for more than just nothingness and misery and loneliness and stuff. And then I was like, by this age, surely life won't let me just slip through the cracks and get nothing. And then 30 came and went, and then I was like, okay, so I really don't matter. I really just don't matter, you know. And the worst part is when I complain about this crap online, you know, and bitches hear it, you know, they're just like, oh, you're entitled, it's just, shut the fuck up. It's like, you get to stuff your fucking filthy, gaping, bleeding fucking hole that looks like a freaking beef sandwich that's been hit with a mallet every fucking week with a new fucking dude, you know, and I go 5 years without a hug. Like, come on, man, what the fuck? You know, like, literally any fucking week, any couple of days, you can go online and meet a new fucking guy. You never have to tell yourself, oh, I'm going to go and drink down at the park because I just can't even find a guy who will even speak to me, you know. You know, I was once fucking catfishing this bitch online with my fake male model account. Like, I was just bored, like, just talking to people. And there's this fucking fat single mother who was, like, saying something like I was just toying with the idea of going with her. And with this male model like profile, you know, I just like seeing how people react to these guys. And she was like saying something like, oh, I want to do it with you, Chad, but it's been a while. I'd be embarrassed. I was like, okay, so how long's it been for you? And she was like, oh, I'd be embarrassed because it's been a month. I'm like, a month? A fucking month? You're fucking overweight, obese. And it's been a fucking month. I'm like, holy crap. You know, I was like, you're fucking kidding me, right? Dude, what the hell would somebody like that say when they were forced to go 5 years Like, I mean, this is what I can't understand about females. It's like, the fucked up thing is they have absolutely zero idea or understanding of how guys have it. And it's like, when you try and tell them, it's like their brains can't even process it. They can't even understand, you know. And then even then, you tell them about how painfully lonely it is, you know, and the fact that the noose starts looking like a friend, you know, after that amount of time. And, you know, they blame you. They just have a go at you. It's like, you can't even get any understanding or sympathy from these people. That's how fucked up they are. You know, you try and say about your situation and things like that. And all they ever do is criticize you. It's so fucked up. You know, but like, imagine that shit a fucking month. Yeah, try going a decade. How would you feel then? You know, I'm pretty sure that most of these bitches couldn't handle fucking living the life of men. Your average fucking guy, you know, like, your average guy probably goes with a new girl every 3 years, and if he doesn't go with that girl, he'll be alone probably for another like 1 to 3 years, because he doesn't have choices. Whenever I've known a guy who's had a girlfriend, she's been his only option. She's been the girl who's just come along, you know. And it's kind of like, say, I don't know when my next meal's coming, so whenever I get the chance to eat, I'm going to eat whatever's offered to me. That's pretty much how it is, because a lot of these guys, they have no choice, they have no option, so they just go with the first person who comes along. Usually it's someone overweight, if they're white guys, because I pretty much only know white guys. You know, that's just how it is. People just mostly know their own culture. And all these fucking guys, they always either go with someone who's well overweight or somebody who's of a different race. Usually one that they have absolutely nothing in common with. They don't even like relate to each other, or they don't even speak the proper language, you know. And if they don't choose to go with that person, then they just end up alone. And even when they do, they end up getting fucked over. I've seen some of these guys bawling their eyes out, fucking suicidal over girls that aren't anywhere near up to their level. Yeah, I don't know, man, but it's just fucked up. But yeah, girls just can't understand how the hell guys have it, eh? And even when they're shown how guys have it, they still find a way to make it about them. You know, a way to complain and just run us down. You know, they're absolutely atrocious, horrible people, eh? Absolutely. I can't believe, like, that they're our opposite gender, you know. It just sucks. I feel so sorry for men. I don't mean, you know, like, the model type men. Fucking hell, those guys can go to hell. You know, and I hope there's a certain place in hell for chads, eh? Like, I hope those fucking type guys can just all rot in hell together and form a fucking conga line of fucking sodomy, and they can all go fuck themselves. You know, fuck those guys. But for the rest of us, you know, like, you know, men in general, you know, they go through so much, you know, like, work all these fucking hours, you know, do all this fucking crap. Everything you see around you, the cars you use, the phones that those bitches use to take their narcissistic selfies with, airplanes, fucking infrastructure, the fucking buildings, the houses, the plumbing, the electricity, everything put there by men, maintained by men, yet all men get is given a shit. You know, all these bitches do is sit there and fucking, it's like the man's a chef and the female's like the one who comes along and eats the meal, you know, takes everything for granted and take everything, give nothing in return, really. It's like, they say that, oh, well, they birth the children, they keep the species going, you know, they're important, but the thing is that females aren't there for like the birth, the whole birth thing and continuing the species, you know, that's a side effect, right? You know, they're not like there to fucking be these great outstanding fucking mothers who raise kids and whatever. The birth is just a side effect. It's just an unwanted, it's a side effect generally for the most part, because the thing is that, you know, they just use the fucking men for what they can, but you know, talk about how they're important because they birth the fucking continuation of the species. But the thing is that, yeah, it's like they're just out to fuck the attractive guys, and the fucking pregnancy and everything is just the thing that comes along with it, you know. That's not the reason why they do it. It's just the unwanted side effect, you know. It's out there to fuck around, you know. Most guys just end up fucking doing all this fucking crap and having this life of hell, just misery, you know. Like, I'm quitting my fucking job soon, I'm starting a new one soon, but I'm quitting that. What the hell's the point? You know, who the fuck, like, why do guys put up with it, man? Why do guys put up with it? You know, you work 40, 50 hours a week for the money that won't even allow you to buy your own house, and you'll never get a wife with that money, because basically the only way that money is working is going to help is if you get rich enough that you're pulling in enough money to become physically attractive, like to a degree. I mean, like, not physically, but you know, if you don't have looks, you have to compensate with money, and most jobs aren't going to give you that kind of money that's going to make you attractive. So what the hell's the point? And all last year I worked 50 hours a week. What did I get out of it? Fucking nothing. Enough money to fucking drink at the end of the week. Enough money to barely maintain my vehicles. That's basically it. Fucking waste of time. Never get a wife from that shit, never get a fucking house from that crap. It's a fucking waste. I think most men should just fucking hand in their resignation and just fucking go off and drink and just say, fuck society, man. Fuck the government, fuck the police, fuck everything. You know, it's just a waste of time. It's a fucking waste of time. And I'm going to be hopefully working for myself, doing something that I like. And 3 months, if my health is okay, and if my health is still okay, and if I can stabilize that or even fix it up somehow, I'm meant to be going on this like health course soon. I don't know if it's still happening, but where they basically find out all of these nutrient deficiencies and stuff like that, what can potentially be bad for you, do like a scan and things like that, and monitor you over a few weeks and stuff, and give you like diet and everything, like advice and stuff, because of, you know, it's meant to help autoimmune people and shit like that. But I'm going to be doing that, and then I'm going to be hopefully making some videos where I'm not ranting on about my utter contempt for the opposite sex and how they treat me and other men, because I want to start doing videos where I'm more talking positively about the beauty in life and the good things that we can actually do with our time, and doing travel videos and things like that, you know, because there is a lot of good in life. There is seriously a lot of good in life, but we get caught doing these jobs that we hate. It just makes us feel miserable. We start to get into that pattern where we think that's all there is, you know, so we forget about all the good things. You know, money is a great barrier between living and just existing, you know, and it really sucks, because there's a lot of good out there that you can do. And I don't just mean shopping. I don't just mean materialism, say going and buying yourself some fucking brand label clothing and new iPhone or a fucking new fucking car or something. I mean, there are places that you would just like lose your mind if you knew what they like that exist, you know, places in the world. For a lot of us grow up in boring neighborhoods, you know, there's a lot of like amazing sights out there to see and things to experience and just good food and stuff. So I want to try and focus more on things like that, you know, the good. But I think pretty much everything in life that we go through is man-made. It's like our suffering, you know, like fucking relationships, fucking people, you know, whether it's men bullying you in a workplace or in school, or females being horrible to you, or whatever you've gone through, you know, like police, if you've been somebody who's been on the streets and had cops fucking like hassle you, or gangs hassle you, or anything. All of it's people. It's all of it fucking people. All this fucking health shit I'm going through is because of fucking crap that they put in the fucking water and the diet. A lot of people go through that, you know. We just need to try and like forget about all of the fucking human-made shit out there and just like experience, go out and look at the good, you know, things in nature, you know. When I go out into the bush and like nature and stuff, beaches that lead on to like bushland and like nature walks and things, I forget about my health issues. I forget about people, money, fucking stupid contracts and crap that people make, and I just get lost in that, and it just gives you a mind like this happiness, you know. It's the same with music, you know. As long as you're in a good place when you're doing it. It's kind of like drink, you know. You don't want to be drinking when you feel sad, you know. You drink when you feel good. Otherwise it'll do the opposite for you. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know, I want to focus more on that, because that was my original intention before creating videos talking about venting and things like that. But anyway, I've spent an hour talking to a camera like an absolute fucking psychopath. Real people talk to real people, weirdos talk to cameras. But apparently everybody's doing it these days, so fuck, I don't know. See, even the bitches are sitting in their cars complaining about how fucking Mr. fucking Handsome's been dicking to other fucking girls and won't commit. You know, like if we held them to the same standards that they held us, you know, they would be offing themselves left, right and centre. It's funny, you know, like they talk about all this liberation and degeneracy as if it's a fucking badge of honour these days, but at the same time, apparently it's like 2/3 of girls are on some form of psychiatric medication or mood stabilising drugs such as antidepressants, SSRIs, or they're self-medicating, you know, getting out and getting trashed on the weekends like men, you know, disgraceful. But yeah, you know, all that fucking freedom and behaviour and everything, you'd think they'd be happy, but no, they're more miserable than ever. It's fucked up, eh, you know? They call it progression, I call it fucking backwards bloody degeneracy. That's what it is. Fuck, mate. I'm supposed to be cleaning my van out today. This is a van I'm meant to be travelling in. But I've ended up just drinking, and unfortunately the sun is sort of setting now. And I can feel that chill in the air, and I really don't like the cold. Anyway, hope all you assholes out there are fucking doing better than I am. Yeah. Hope you people can find some peace, because I haven't been able to find peace in a long time. You know, I just wish that people would stop fucking avoiding my questions and tiptoeing around it when I ask what the hell is wrong with me. Or somebody could just say outright, right, you need this done or that done or whatever. But I'm just fucking tired of not being good enough, and I'm tired of nobody telling me what it needs to be good enough. I was 5 years old, probably younger than 5 years old, when I fucking knew I was straight, you know, and I used to see like bitches on TV wearing next to nothing, and I always thought one day that's going to be like what I'm going to be all about. I'm going to fucking have my share of that, I'm going to have a partner and kids, and then I'm going to get with these fucking people like that. And I always thought that I had this stupid delusion that basically I thought if I like them, they'll like me. I always thought that. I thought because I was so interested in girls when I was younger, one day when I get older, I'm gonna be able to have that. To me, the S word, fucking seems like something that just happens in porn. You know, I mean, to me, it doesn't even seem like a realistic thing. You know, like, it seems like it's the hardest fucking thing to get in real life. I mean, for fuck's sake, I've got a 1 in 4, like, a fucking disease that like 4 out of 1 million people, 4 out of 1 million men get. And that was easier for me to get a fucking completely unheard of rare disease than it was to get the fuck. Like, how fucked up is that? I reckon 20 people in 1 million get this shit. Only 4 of those 20 are men. 2 of them are, you know, I'm not within that age range. It's normally guys who are like 35, 40 plus, maybe 50. You know, so I'm like 2 out of 1 million chance of getting this fucking thing. Yet that was still easier to get. I had that, but I couldn't get a fuck. I don't get it. But I mean, if I was a total nerd, I could understand. If I was like a real geek, if I was really fat, you know, like, I mean, I'm not exactly complete fucking beta nerd. You know, like, I was always a huge fucking metalhead since I was like younger, but I could never get a metal bitch. Fuck. It's about 50 lighters I dropped. But yeah, like, I could never get one of them, you know. All those metal girls and goth girls always go for these fucking ugly cunts with beards. You know. It's funny, I feel like I'm almost, you know, like, I don't know. It's weird, but I've never been able to get somebody who's like me, you know, like, kind of guy that I'd like somebody who's like, you know, similar sort of person, you know. I'd love to have like this fucking partner, goth partner, who's just like, you know, they could just like forget the world together and just fucking get absolutely wasted and just forget about everything. Yeah. It sucks. I can't even meet a loser. Can't even meet somebody who's like fucked up like me. Since I moved to the fucking big city, I haven't even been fucking like hit on by a land whale. Not even a land whale will consider me these days. Like, how fucked up is that, you know? Not even a fucking land whale. Oh man, it's a depressing fucking day. All I can do is rot away, sitting here and listen to music and drink. Fuck, I hate it. I hate it. Wish I had people to fucking hang out with that were like me or something. Price of being up there. Not even the other fucks want to hang out there. Oh man, fuck this. Fuck. See, I'm getting all these lines around my mouth. My skin looks horrible. Soon I'm not even going to handle going outside. I'm just going to have to sleep away the day and drink and watch Family Guy. Just lie in bed and watch Family Guy all day. And read the news about the world and learn things. You know, I've gotten into learning things lately. So I could just go online and read up random facts, look into the old war happening overseas, old Vladimir Putin. Vladimir ought to start putting those fucking bombs in my fucking country, mate. Like, fuck. Wash it all away. Fucking hoping for that in a way that he just decides, fuck it. Let the bombs drop, my brothers. I'm going to bomb the entire world, Mother Russia. I just hope this fucking shit happens, eh? He just fucking pulls like a million fucking warheads out of his arsenal and just, he's like, right, fuck it, I'm gonna set the air on fire and just fucking blitz everybody. Take away this fucking pain so I don't have to fucking face it anymore. I have to go to my job tomorrow, apparently. That, man. Fuck that. I just wanna drink. Drink! Just wanna sit here and just drink and listen to some fucking, I don't know what the hell, anything, and go to sleep and forget that my life continued after I was a teenager. Because that's just how it is, eh, you know? I haven't really been happy since I was 21. Then again, I haven't truly been happy since I was 4. Back when my mum and my dad were at home. Fuck that asshole, man. See you later.